So I was like, I'm gonna just create my own. So I'm like sitting here thinking, and like one day, some guy's like, "Shouldn't you be in the kitchen making me a sandwich?" Like the amount of times I've heard that is unreal.
It's cheesy.
Yeah, but so many times. So finally when I was like, you know what, my dishes are done. I'm playing Call of Duty.
Everybody, welcome to the third episode of Brews and Q's. Today we are hosting Dishes Are Done, aka Dad. So, if you can go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Tracy. I basically just play Call of Duty. I have 2 kids, and I stay at home. I'm a stay-at-home mom.
American Dream.
Sounds like fun.
Love it.
It sounds good.
It does sound good.
Yeah, we actually didn't even get your first name, so now we're learning it. Now it just makes it easier to do it that way. Cool. So you're mostly playing Call of Duty. Any other games?
I played Fortnite a little bit. A lot got me into Fortnite. I've played Apex with my cousin. Some Nintendo Switch games. It's usually like more family.
Yeah. Smash Bros.
No. Like Mario Party, things like that.
Fun.
Yeah, Mario, like the racing ones. We've got like Little Nightmares too, but not really into that one. A little jumpy for me.
Pete, you're a big Nintendo guy, aren't you?
You know me. I've been like, well, to be honest, I started out with Sega when I was like 3 or 4. I remember my mom getting me a Sega Genesis, and just switched right to Sony, and well, the rest is history, pretty much.
All right, let's jump into it. Question number 1. So what inspired you to start streaming? Whenever we were checking out your stream, it seemed like you were still a little bit new to it. Did you come from another platform? I mean, I was checking Facebook. I didn't check any other platforms, but so what inspired you to start?
So I had an accident almost a year ago, and I was completely bedridden. I couldn't do anything, so figured I was playing all the time. Why not start streaming? So once I was able to actually like get up and move around and whatnot, I figured why not? I enjoy watching other streamers. If I wasn't playing, if I'm just sitting in the living room and we've got cartoons on or something, I'm watching on my phone, and next thing you know, I'm watching somebody else play. So I started on Twitch, but I just really felt like it wasn't. It's hard because you're scrolling on Facebook, then people come across it. So I did start on Twitch, but I am still pretty new. I think I started December on Facebook. I think I newer, end of December. What was that?
I said, you're like real recent.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You're off to a pretty good start. From what I saw, I think you had 800 followers so far.
I think I'm around 4 or something maybe.
Oh, nice.
Times what I ever had.
I mean, still, that's really good.
That's really good since December, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, once you start, I think, like, getting into it and, you kind of figure yourself out and figure what you're comfortable with and, like, what your style is and the people you play with and whatnot, that definitely helps.
So I got to ask, how'd you get roped in with Tyler?
Actually, I was streaming on Facebook one day, and I got a raid, and so he had ended his stream, sent his viewers over to me, and he came in, and he was talking, and his followers came in, and they were talking to me, and everybody was super friendly, and they were all, I'm just a smiley person. I always smile, and he's like, I saw your name, and then I saw you just smiling the whole time, so I had to go to you, and then he asked me if I'd do a co-stream with him, so I did, and we just hit it off. I mean, we both got to, he's a really funny guy, and I'm a really kind of friendly person, so it just, I don't know, we just became friends and play together a lot now.
That's good. I will say this much: Tyler is a very good judge of character, from what I've seen. So,
well, thank you. Yeah, definitely. They all, I mean, all open arms. They definitely made me feel like really welcome. Like I said, because I'm still, still new, but he's got a really big community, compared to what I have, and they all, whether it's advice or kind of letting me come in, and like I said, I stay at home, so I have a lot of free time on my hands. I'm talking to everybody.
All right. Question number 2. So you pretty much are the only play Call of Duty. Now, has it always been this is the only one you ever played, or did you play when you were younger? Like, is there a favorite of yours?
Yeah. So I started. I think it was Modern Warfare 3 is when we got our first Xbox. My mom got Modern Warfare 3, the Xbox edition, and we got that one, and I loved it. So I played it all the time. So that's what got me into it. And then I loved, I think it was Black Ops 2 or 3. They came out with Prop Hunt, and that was like my favorite. Like Prop Hunt was awesome. Like, yeah, I remember turning into a tree, and like I somehow won as like a huge prop, and that was like I was dying. My brother was watching me play, and we were just having a great time. But like I really don't. I think it was Infinite Warfare, where it was like kind of futuristic, where you like could jump on walls or something, or you like double jumped, and I just don't care for that. So that was probably my least favorite.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you on that. I went to like the futuristic era, like Advanced Warfare. Like I played it, but then like Infinite Warfare, no, I didn't even like honestly buy Infinite Warfare or give it a try. Like I just like I can't do this.
Yeah, it was not fun for me.
Brian, did you enjoy Infinite Warfare?
I mean, I liked it. I thought it was cool. That was the one you could like run on walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either you like it or you don't. You know what I mean? I just didn't.
I could leave it. I could take it. It was time consuming. I mean, I don't play much else other than Call of Duty, so it's like I'll play other things. Except that was kind of like the game that was out at the time, so that's what I was playing mostly. But yeah, I didn't mind it. I didn't hate it. When did you jump in to Call of Duty? Like what game specifically?
Modern Warfare 3 was the first one I started. Yep. Yes, I've been playing for a long time. I mean, long for me compared to...
You and Tyler both jumped in late. I feel like everyone always jumped in at Modern Warfare 1. It's like when I'm talking to you two, it's like... It just seems like he jumped in at World at War, you jumped in at Modern Warfare 3. I just... even though it's a long time, it's like I find it odd because almost everyone I ask always says Modern Warfare 1, but you guys were different, but...
For me.
I started, a friend of mine, I think it was like 2008, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 2. We played that, and that was like what got me into first-person shooters. Me and my girlfriend, we played it, and like I think one summer, that's all we did. We just played it. And I was like, man, this is kind of fun. So like I would ask I'm like, Mom, we need to get a console of some sort, PlayStation. I think she had PlayStation, but my mom ended up getting, I don't know, a Christmas bonus or something, and she bought it for us early. And I remember my brother and I opened the box, and we played it downstairs in my bedroom. My stepdad didn't know, and then we wrapped it back up in the box, and then we put it under the Christmas tree, and we acted super surprised Christmas morning.
That's funny. Yeah, that was a good game. I always enjoyed the Tom Clancy games. They were always a lot of fun. I actually just got him to download Rainbow Six Siege, so I'm getting him into that one. Did you ever play that?
No, honestly, the Rainbow Six Vegas 2 is the only one that I played, and like I said, that got me into first-person shooters. And then since we got the Xbox that came with Modern Warfare 3, then I just got into Call of Duty, and then like the more I played it, I got into that, and then I made friends through the game, and then then just played it all the time. My mom would wake up, do you know that it's 3 o'clock in the morning?
Oh man, yeah, can relate. That was whenever I was living with my parents, that was always the thing. So question number 3. So you are taking over your own comedy movie, and you get to pick 3 actors to make this a box office hit. Who do you pick and why?
Definitely first would be Melissa McCarthy. because she is hilarious. I think every movie that she's in, I mean, even if she's in a serious movie, for some reason she pulls it off good, but she is like one of the best comedians. My next one would probably have to be Kevin Hart, just because he could talk through his eyes. I mean, he's got the short stuff going too. I don't know. I just think that, I'm kind of into like some things that some people don't find funny, and so I think that Kevin is just, I don't know, he's got some good movies, and I'm always laughing, either his stand-up or movies. I mean, everything he does is just hilarious. And then my third would probably be Will Ferrell.
Good choice.
I know they're kind of like all different, but I think they're all three hilarious on their own. So if they were all together, I just think that it would be great.
Did you ever see the movie Get Hard with those two, Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart?
No, I didn't.
Really?
No.
Oh man, they balance each other out like really well in that movie, and it's really funny. Whenever you get a chance, you should watch that.
No, yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, I like watching The Rock and Kevin Hart together because they're hilarious, just because of their size differences when they make jokes about each other.
Oh yeah.
But
there was like a lot of banter going on back and forth on, like, I think Instagram. I don't really use.
I'm
Instagram,
not sure what.
but...
Yeah. I'm not sure which platform, but I know, like, in movies, or like Twitter, I think I've seen like screenshots or whatever posted on Facebook of like their tweets back and forth and whatnot too.
Melissa McCarthy, did you see the one with Jason? It's the one, Identity Theft.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That one was a good one. I enjoyed that one.
She's like, I would walk 500.
Oh man, yeah, that's a good one. I forget the guy's name who's in that. Is it Jason?
Terrible with names.
The guy
I think it is. Yeah, my mom's actually watching that right now. I haven't got into that yet, but she's definitely obsessed. She said there's a new episode that came out today.
Yep. Ozark is pretty good. I enjoy it. What about Will Ferrell? What's your favorite Will Ferrell movie?
Probably Step Bros.
That is classic.
Yeah.
What's off my drum set?
Yeah, I had quotes from that movie all the time.
Man, I remember growing up, Anchorman. Anchorman was probably the movie that really got me hooked on Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like I remember seeing like Old School before that, and like Old School was like classic Will Ferrell movie. But Anchorman was always like one I watched like 8 million times.
Mm-hmm. I think Talladega Nights too was one that I watched a lot.
Oh yeah.
Actually on TV the other day.
I honestly don't think in that entire movie, the scene where they're sitting at the dinner table, I could watch that like 8 million times and I will die laughing every single time.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, next question. So, to me, growing up as a kid, I always, gaming was just kind of like, it always seemed like it was a guy thing, and that's just, I'm 33 years old. That's what I'm used to. So, being a female coming into this gaming community, was it easy for you to make the change, or were people very accepting of you, or did you have issues? I mean, like, because I've never had a female game, so.
That's a fair question. So definitely, like, when I first started off, people were, they're like either one end or the complete opposite. So they're like super toxic, super just rude, raunchy, however, or like, hey baby, what's your Facebook? What's your MySpace, or whatever it was. I mean, and it's still to this day. I mean, still, there's people. It was the other night. The other night we got second, and the one guy said something about us getting second place, and I said, "Hey, second's better than third," and he goes, "Shut up, you sound fat," or something like that. And I said, "Yeah, I am. Check me on Facebook." I mean, some people you can't win with them, and that's actually how I came up with my name. Wasn't always Dishes Are Done. I actually, like I said, I started on Xbox, and I was on, I had my husband's gamer tag for the longest time,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was kind of tossing around the idea of streaming, and then I was like, I'm just tired of always being under his name, so I'm going to create my own because he doesn't even play Call of Duty.
What?
So I was like, no. So I was like, I'm gonna just create my own. So I'm like sitting here thinking, and like one day some guy's like, shouldn't you be in the kitchen making me a sandwich? Like the amount of times I've heard that is unreal.
It's cheesy.
Yeah, but so many times. So finally when I was like, you know what, my dishes are done. Call of Duty. So my friend's like, I bet you won't. So I said, sure I will. So I changed my name to it, and then I was like, oh, should I keep that if I'm gonna be streaming? Like, is that kind of cheesy? And
Yeah.
the feedback that I've gotten from it, like everybody's like, oh my god, that's hilarious, that's so funny. And I actually I don't know if you've heard Tactical Grandma. She's streams on Facebook. She had come across my name. Yeah, she had come across my name, and she actually rated me one day. She's like, "Oh my god, this name is so funny," and she ended up rating my stream. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, our name, our Discord, Morning Lumber Gaming. It was actually I came up with the idea with it because we play inline like hockey, like in the beer league, and our team name is Morning Lumber, and I was just like, this would be great. I was like, this should sound so right. Let's just go Morning Lumber Gaming. It's like, you know what? And we just owned it,
Yeah,
And
that's
then
kind
obviously we each have our own names individually, but yeah.
it just kind of stuck.
That's cool. Tactical Grandma. I always see her come up, and I'm like, this woman's owning it.
Yeah, no, it was so awesome.
Filthy. Like I'll watch her, and I'm like, damn, I really suck.
But I mean, as far as like people I know, like in person, I feel like a lot more of my guy friends are more supportive than my girlfriends, just because a lot of my girlfriends don't play video games. So like, oh, what
That's
are you
fair.
like? What do you do? You play video games, or I had, I mean, not that all of them are negative. I do have some girlfriends that do play video games, and I do have some friends that don't play video games that are still supportive of it. But a lot more of my guy friends actually play Call of Duty, so they'll like talk to me or pop in my stream and say something, whereas they just don't connect to it, which is totally fine. As long as you don't put me down for it, I don't care.
That's fair. Like I said, like there's some things that me and my wife don't always do together. Like, like I like watching sports. She won't watch any of that, and it's completely fine. Like, you all have your own individual taste, and you can't knock it.
Right.
You did say earlier that your husband does not play Call of Duty at all.
No.
Now, I'm gonna assume since you stream, you're the more avid gamer in the house. But does he still play? And if he does, what's his game of choice?
He does play. He plays Xbox, and he likes to play like more of like driving games like Mud Runner or Snow Runner or GTA.
Forza?
Like, I did buy him Forza for Christmas, but he works a lot, obviously, because I stay home. So he hasn't really had much time to play, but he'll do it every once in a while. But I feel like he always goes back to either Mud Runner, Snow Runner, or GTA.
See, I like that. Like, it's a whole family of gaming. Like, my wife right now, upstairs watching Netflix in bed. That's her. She won't game, won't watch sports, but,
I know my 5-year-old, she wants to, we bought, what is it, Fall Guys for my computer. So she comes, that's the only other PC game I have right now. So she comes on my computer, and she will play that every once in a while. And then she likes to play Minecraft and Roblox on her tablet. And eventually she keeps asking to play Fortnite, and I'm like, girl, I can't even get that down yet. Let me be able to help you guys.
Hopefully, like I said, if and when I have a kid, they'll be into gaming. So
yeah.
Brian?
It's funny you say that, because I feel like 5 is like starting to become like the new prime age to start like their Fortnite training. I feel like that's the new norm for that age. Everyone's playing Fortnite.
I'm only playing Fortnite for 0 build. I can't do that building stuff.
Oh man, that's terrible.
My fingers can't work that fast.
I'm like going to slide like you do in Call of Duty. Next thing you know, I'm building a ramp, and I'm like, what's going on?
It's just polar opposites.
Yeah, it's my cousin. I was talking to him like last week, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got my kids V-Bucks for their birthdays or something like that." I was just like, "What?" I was like, "They're definitely only like 6, 7." I was like, "You're getting V-Bucks?" Like, I was like, It's just odd to hear that, like at that young of
Yeah.
an age. But I mean, now
Yeah.
that I'm thinking about it, it's like I was playing crappy Sega games whenever I was that old, so I guess it makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, she's getting down the Switch controls too.
Nice.
But I have to limit it because otherwise she gets a big attitude. So she has to have
Ooh.
her screen time limited.
Ooh. Um, Question number 5. So we see that you're pretty active in Tyler's Discord. I'm assuming probably other Discords also. So what do you do to help build your own community and your own, Facebook channel and things like that?
um. So yeah, I just kind of I talk to everybody. Like I said, so I stay home. I'm home with the kids. So, um, I'm I'm not lonely by any chance, like by any means, but like talking to people and like just communicating, whether it's about the game or just having conversations or figuring out what's going on in everybody else's lives. I just kind of like to make myself available for you know m- community, not even my own, but everybody's. That way I can open my doors to anybody. And from being open in a lot of other communities, I've had a lot of people come join mine. And when we do our customs, I feel like a lot of people come in and then they'll jump in chat and say hi, and like I've gained a lot of new followers just from branching out. And I think another big thing is like rating streamers, kind of like how Tyler did to me. I usually like to rate another streamer. I do still raid some streamers that I've rated in the past, just to like, I don't do them every time, but like I'll raid somebody more than once just to kind of keep that connection, especially if like I haven't played with them yet, or I don't know, just to know, like, just to kind of show them that, hey, I'm still here. I'll still pop in. Like, once I'm done streaming, if I'm laying in bed or something, I'll pop in another streamer's, and just kind of chat for a little bit, hang out, and like see how everybody else is doing, and kind of like create new relationships with other people. And then, like I said, I like to kind of just like keep, if you pop in once, you create a small impression. But if you continue to kind of stick around and talk and like kind of create more of a, I don't want to say bond, but like a more of like a personal relationship with people, then they're like, hey, this person's actually down to earth. They know more about you than this person just plays a video game that I like to watch. Like some people come and hang out not only because like some people don't even play the game, but they like the community, or you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean networking is huge when it comes to actually being a successful streamer. Let alone, I mean, I'm sure people that do this all the time. I mean, it's fun to chat and build relationships and be able to like see what other streamers are out there and how they do things, and make friends and help really build each other up. And that's kind of like one of the biggest things that we've really been pushing to do too, is just make those relationships and see who's out there. And honestly, I mean, people out in the communities are for the most part extremely receptive and very helpful, which is
Oh
absolutely
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I remember one guy I had rated. I just like I'll go to Rising Stars too and see like if the somebody who's new who's got like one or two viewers or something, and I'll raid them. That's usually what I like to do if I don't pick somebody I've already rated before, like somebody that I play with a lot, Lot or SARS or Gunner, or one of them. I like to go to somebody who's got smaller numbers, just kind of like how Lot did to me, and that's how I actually first learned how to raid, was when he showed me. And I remember one guy I had rated, he was on the Rising Stars list, and he was super, like, he reminded me of how I was when I got rated. I was like, oh my god, no way. And he was just like super thankful and everything. And he had messaged me after, and he was asking me how to do it because he didn't know that that was a thing, and how to so I don't know, it just kind of feels rewarding too, like seeing somebody light up like that. Because like I said, I remember how I felt. I was like, oh my god, no way. Like I couldn't even play the game because I'm like trying to read my chat, and I'm like
Yeah, that's awesome. That's like got to be exciting for like
oh yeah.
to be able to like look at your stream and go from like like a couple people, if not maybe like one, to like
Mhm.
having 20 or 30. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It makes a big difference.
Oh yeah. Peter Pan, you ready for the next one?
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I was
No,
just
you're
in
fine.
here for a second. There we go. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. So
No.
you said you started out on Twitch, made the switch over to Facebook. So you said it because it was an issue on Twitch. How do you feel so far as being on Facebook versus Twitch?
So like I have followers. Well, I have some of them that have finally come over to Facebook. But I have a lot of friends that stream on Twitch. I just never really I mean, I suppose I could have shared more like on my own personal Facebook page, but like what made me really switch over to Facebook was like I'm gonna give Facebook a try was like I said, I sit there and scroll on my Facebook and next thing you know, like I'm even on my home page or like my home news feed and I'll come across another streamer and I'm like and then all of a sudden next thing you know I'm watching their video when I originally was just scrolling on Facebook and I was like, and Twitch, you strictly go to Twitch to look up somebody streaming. But on Facebook, you can just stumble upon it when you're just scrolling because you're bored. You know what I mean? So I was like, I feel like more people would come across me if I was on Facebook. So I switched to Facebook. For the most part, I've been happy with Facebook. I reached their level up program, and people can send you stars. But for some reason, Facebook liked my account for fraud. So I'm still trying to get their support team is really difficult to get in touch with. So I'm trying to figure that out right now.
So obviously, I just started Facebook gaming like 4 or 5 days ago. So how does it go for their program versus Twitch getting affiliated? How does Facebook work?
So Facebook, you just have to get 100 followers. So your likes and followers can be different, which usually more people follow your page than like your page for some reason. I don't know why there's two different things. Yeah. But it works out because follows is what they count. So once you reach 100 followers, and I think your page has to be active for, I don't remember, 30 days maybe or something. And I think you have to stream X amount of hours, like 4 hours or something, within 7 days or it's small numbers. I mean, it's easy to do in a week. By the time you reach your 100 followers, those things are basically done. And I had created my Facebook page before I actually decided that I was really going to start streaming. Like I made it and then I was like, do I want to do this? Am I going to do this? Am I going to switch to Facebook? Am I, what am I going to do? Because I just literally, I started streaming from my Xbox to my MacBook with a capture card. And it was a bumpy start, but eventually we had tax return season came and I was like, you know what? My husband got a snowmobile and I got a PC.
Sounds fair, right?
Yeah. I said, hey, you know what? I'm at home with my kids. I stream at night when I put them to bed. Cause some people are like, well, aren't you supposed to be taking care of your kids and not playing video games? But I'm like, hey, I put my kids to bed and I can do with what I please. And guess what? I'm still here for them if they need me.
So out of curiosity, did you just go ahead and get a pre-built just to get rolling, or did you go piece by piece?
So I went to iBuyPower, or I ordered from them, but I did build it. I did a Ryzen 9 3080.
Ryzen 9 gang all here.
Because I knew that I was going to stream and play on the same PC, so I wanted it to be built enough to be able to do both, and then maybe eventually I'll do another PC, but, I knew that I would be able to do what I wanted to do with this, and I double-checked with, 10 different people to make sure that, they're like, oh, well, you probably don't need it like that high, and I was like, no, I don't want to. I mean, I really was going to do the 3080 Ti, but it was like $650 difference for the 3080 versus the 3080 Ti, and I was like, I can't justify that.
So, I mean, we're all running Ryzen 9 as well. Like I'm a 5900X as well as Brian. I think you are as well. Graphics card. What do you have for graphics card? You said 3080.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3080. NVIDIA gang over here.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it, but I couldn't find one readily, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go AMD and. Yeah, it's balls to the wall.
I mean, I couldn't have put it all together myself, but I also wanted to have warranty on everything, so.
Mm-hmm.
they put everything on it for me. And then, of course, everyone's like, whatever you do, don't get Windows 11. And I'm like, hey, it wasn't an option.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. Everyone says Windows 11 isn't good to go to now or something. I don't know. Like,
When I did it, I just did Windows 11 Pro. I don't even know what the difference is, but Pro sounded better. So I think it was like
Always
$30
does.
more. So I said, sure.
so you're on Windows 11, and have you had any issues?
So actually, yes, I did have one issue, and I don't even know what caused it. One day I was playing Rebirth. One game worked, then the next game I, was, going through the waiting to get into a lobby, and I'm slamming into the ground, and next thing you know, my latency shoots up to like 900 and something, 936 or some like high number, and I was like, whoa. So I checked my latency on my computer, like I went to my speed test, said 14. I was like, okay. So I like reset my computer. I got, made sure everything was hardwired because they were like, oh, well, you're on Wi-Fi, so it might be your Wi-Fi. Did all of that. Nothing worked. My friend's husband, God bless him, took over my PC, was like doing everything, looking for everything. We deleted Call of Duty. We deleted, everything, re-downloaded it all. Nothing fixed it. It was like my GPU time was super high. It was like showing like my task manager was showing like super like heavy load basically. And he's like, with your graphics card, it should not be, I don't think that there's an issue with it, but I think that something's going on. So we reset my whole computer. I deleted everything off of it and completely reset my computer, and it fixed it. So I don't know if there was like a virus or something, or what happened, but I was like sick to my stomach. I was like, oh my God, what happened? It was like a month old, 3 weeks old, and this happened. I was like, oh my God.
I just want to play Rebirth.
I know. Oh.
Speaking of that, what's your favorite go-to mode? Caldera or Rebirth?
Rebirth.
Good answer.
Unless Verdansk was back.
Yeah.
Better answer.
Caldera's trash.
Yeah,
Yes.
I probably played on Caldera since it dropped, hour-wise, maybe 9 hours. Verdansk, before it left, I remember checking. You can check your hours time.
Oh yeah.
Your score. I was like 33 days on just Verdansk.
I loved Verdansk.
Yeah,
I miss it so much.
Now I just go only Rebirth for the time being.
Yeah.
Brian?
All right. Hopping into the next question. Now I know you kind of said you don't really play much else other than Call of Duty, and you said a little bit of Fortnite. Do you have any specific gaming series that you're really into?
So we actually, you're probably gonna, but I have 2 kids, and to get them more active, we just bought Just Dance 2022, and we've been playing that. And let me tell you what, that is a big workout. So you can like do multiple characters and whatnot. My kids love it. So, I'm not just going to sit there and make them do it by themselves. So, yeah, I dance with them. I recorded it on my watch the one day. I think I burned just as many calories as I do at the gym for an hour.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it like you just kind of like bounce around in front of the TV, or is it like you have one of those like mats, like Dance Dance Revolution kind of thing, or?
No, it's so like you're holding like Wii, like when you had the Wii. You had the remote, so you just hold like one of the remotes, and it gives you like the dance movements. Now you could cheat it because it the way that you do the movements, as long as you do your one hand, you basically got it. But my kids don't know that. And I'd mentioned in the beginning that I had a bad accident, and I had major surgery on my foot. So like jumping, running, I can't really do that the best with my right foot. So there was one part where like there was a lot of jumping and I couldn't do that. So I just kind of had to mimic the movement. And my daughter turns around and looks at me and she goes, why aren't you jumping? I said, oh, I can't. My foot's bad. And she goes, well, then I'm cheating. And I was like, no, you're not. And she's like, yeah, I'm cheating because I'm jumping and you're not. But yeah, so there's that. And then another game that we got, like, that we kind of just play. Like I said, if we're playing the Switch, I don't usually play it by myself. It's usually, with family or, like, my brothers or something. We got Gang Beasts, which is, like, these, like, blobs, and you're trying to throw the other one off of the edge, basically. I don't know. It's just a funny... we sit around and drink and play it.
And were these on the Switch?
Yeah. The only other, like I said, I have Fortnite, Call of Duty, and Fall Guys on my PC so far. I mean, it's new, so I haven't, now that things are coming out, if there's something I want to play, obviously if I'm going to buy it, I'll buy it for my PC, but everything I had was on my Xbox.
So was it pretty recent since you got your PC?
I got it in March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When you said tax return money, I almost felt like, all right, maybe it was last year you got it, but you're talking literally last month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, this just past December is when I started. 2021, December 2021 is when I started streaming. So
nice, good stuff. Well, how do you like PC gaming over console? Do you like it a lot more?
Bad slider though.
Yep.
So I had the Xbox Series X. So I had the slider for Vanguard, but I did not have it for Warzone, and it made such a huge difference. Like I remember when I was streaming from my Xbox, my brother's like, "Why are you running so slow?" Because he's used to watching other people streaming, and I'm like, "It's because it just looks like that. Like I'm running the same speed as everybody else."
It's an
Yeah.
optimal solution. So, what do you run at? Like I'm running at 110. Like I feel like maybe if I put glasses on, I could do 120.
Oh, I went straight to 120.
Oh, I could do it, but I'm like this. Is it 110? I'm like, okay, that's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I should turn it down a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I remember, like I said, I went straight from 80 to 120, and it was like, I just feel so dizzy.
You're like, what? It's so stretched.
Yeah. But I felt like I could see so much clearer. Like, just like, I was like, wow, I can actually see somebody in the distance, or like, before I mean, and I played on a huge TV before. That was probably part of my problem.
Yeah, I'm playing on a 75-inch down on the PS5 downstairs, and then the PC got built, and right now temporarily I'm running on a 40-inch TV because I'm waiting for my basement to be finished. But I'll be running on like a 27-inch, so it'll be a lot smaller to go. But
yeah.
What was I gonna say? So you say currently you have a lot of time on your hands, right? Because you're a stay-at-home mom, which isn't a bad thing. I'm not knocking it. Currently, what are you watching? Like binge series-wise, TV series? Are you binging anything? Any recommendations?
So I know it sounds funny, but I don't usually watch TV during the day. Usually we watch Bluey.
Write that down.
Yeah, it's a good one for kids. But I did watch. I was kind of falling asleep to it the other night, so I wouldn't know if it's binge worthy. But that John Gacy. It's like he was a murderer and hid bodies in his basement. But like the last show that I binge watched was I think The Maid, which is I mean it's more of like a girl catchy one. But there was 2 documentaries that I watched, which they were both really creepy. Mostly it was The Worst Neighbor Ever, and it was like more killing. They were like killing their neighbor. Like I don't know. She would like bring people in, and all of a sudden, I don't know, she was connected to so many people that went missing, and then they ended up like looking in her basement, and they found all these people that were missing, and I'm like, oh my god.
Sweet. And
then I think the last other show that, or 2 other ones, sorry, that I binged were more like the one was Is It Cake, which sounds really silly, but it was like these bakers, they make these cakes, and they have 2 objects sitting right next to each other. One is the cake and one is the actual object, and the people have to guess which one is the cake, and like they'll move on. And like you think that it sounds easy, but let me tell you, I got some of them wrong watching.
Yeah, I always find it kind of weird when people can make those like super artistic cakes, and it's like you'll see them like put a knife through it. I'm just like, you think they're about to cut through their hand or something like that.
They did like purses. One did like shoes. There was a piñata. The piñata one was like so hard because they have like edible paper and stuff. You know what I mean? So they literally, it looked like a piñata. Like it had the paper, it had everything, and I was like, oh my god, there's no way that that's a cake. And then what was the last one? I don't even remember what it was called, but it was like they went in and basically they told their significant other that they either had to get engaged to them or leave them, and I don't know why I got so into it because I like watching other people's drama. I don't want drama, so I'll watch it and then I can turn it off.
Yeah.
If I told you what I was binging right now, you'd be like, "Oh my god!"
What?
So my father, I don't know why, but he watches. This is really weird. He'll watch like all sports nonstop, whatever. But then he'll watch like Real Housewives and stuff like that. Like it just makes, or like the Kardashians makes no sense. Whatever. So I told my wife, I was like, "Oh, we're gonna watch Real Housewives in New Jersey." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "No, we're gonna do this." She's like, "We're about to start season 5 right after this episode," and she's hooked. I'm like, I don't know why I'm watching it, but I just love the drama.
I've actually never watched Real Housewives.
Oh, it's so good. It is so good.
I mean, I was into like Jersey Shore.
That too. We watched Jersey Shore. We're apparently waiting for the next season of Family. What was it? Family Vacation, right? Yeah.
I didn't. I mean, I'm talking about when
I
I
haven't watched it. Now I feel weird. I watched Jersey Shore too. So
I'm sorry.
don't worry about it. We can laugh there a lot.
Trust me, I laugh at him all the time for this.
He does all the time.
It's okay to roast.
Like 10 years of it.
I mean, I remember just like, well, I don't know. Is it still like Snooki and all them, or is it new people?
No, it's still the same group. It's them now, but they're like growing up. They have kids, but they still come together and go on vacation. It's
okay. No, I haven't seen that.
Angelina's on her 3rd marriage, and she just got divorced for a 3rd time. Yeah, it's great. Makes me feel better about my own personal life.
Yeah, that's kind of why I watch them. Yeah.
Except they're rich and I'm poor.
I feel that.
So, all right, Brian. I think it's to you now.
Oh yeah. All right. So
speed round.
Doing a little twist. No speed round.
Speed round today. All right.
We're doing a little bit of a twist. So we had some of your dedicated followers send us some questions that they would like some answers to, and so this is going to be over video. So I had them actually video us some stuff in. So.
Oh boy.
This is going to be
interesting.
This is going to be a goodie.
You didn't even tell me that. I like that.
Oh.
Brother, hey Dish, it's your girl Stars. I'm hiding currently in the back room at work right now. Shh, don't tell anybody. My hair's a little messy. We're not going to talk about that. The eyeball, you already know. We're not going to talk about that. But I just wanted to ask a simple question for you for today. Good luck to you. I know you're going to smash it, but what character or operator would you be if you had to live in the world of COD, and why? Hope to play with you soon. Catch you out there. I might get you in the butt, Booty Jew. Love you so much. Love you, bye.
So I would definitely be Mara.
Mara, good choice.
Yeah. I just feel like she already kind of is closest of all the characters to me, except she's got brown hair, and I have fun, and her boobs are a lot bigger than mine.
Thank God.
I watch her on Twitch. I love Mara.
Yeah.
Call of Duty finally did something right. They gave all the female characters humongous knockers.
Yeah.
All right. Ready for question number 2?
Hey, Dishes. Congrats on your podcast. My question is going to be, so you've made it now. How hard did you have to work to get there?
So, I mean, I feel like I've worked hard. I feel like I'm not going to say that other people haven't worked harder, only because, like, I know Lot has put a lot of, like, just because he and I have talked about it a lot more, I feel like, than I've talked over, with a lot of other people, but I know that he's put a lot of ads and video clips and all sorts of, things like that out. Just more recently have I started trying to do TikTok video, which I not the best at it, but like the one I made the stupidest video ever, OnlyFans joke, and I think I had 25 followers on TikTok before. Now I'm at like 130 TikTok followers in one day. It was like that big of a jump.
A lot of OnlyFans jokes.
Yeah, it was just like it was actually a quote from Step Brothers that I did, like a voiceover thing, and it just I don't know. So I would say that, I mean, yeah, I've worked for it and I feel like I'm doing better now, like getting more of like a routine sort, like kind of figuring, like I said, I'm still figuring myself out as far as like what works best for me. And um, I think that once my kids are in school full time, my goal is to be able to do more daytime streams. But right now, with a 3-year-old running around at home, she's kind of sassy. And she's definitely really difficult to uh like if I'm sitting here, she'd be like, "No, I want it now." So it's just difficult. So it's just easier for me to do it while they're in bed.
Yeah.
And then once they're at school, I could do, a daytime stream for, a couple hours during the day.
Good stuff. Ready for question number 3?
Oh boy.
I'd introduce myself, but you already know who I am. Dishes, Dad. The question is, one game the rest of your life, and you don't get to leave until you win. What's that game? And it can't be COD. It's gotta be something different, all right?
I would have to say, well, I mean, you guys kind of already heard my list of games. It's not very long, but I would probably have to say I usually win in Mario Party. I don't know why. The game feels bad for me. Like, even if I'm in last place, somehow, like, they give the awards at the end and I've got, like, 6 of them. And I still win. So, probably that.
Which Mario Party was the first one you played? Was it on the Switch or was it the
Mhm.
previous? Okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I'm trying to think. I think I've, like, seen it, like, on videos, but I don't think I've ever played it.
Oh yeah, the graphics are trash. Awesome games, but the graphics are trash.
Yeah, and I had did a simulator from like Mario Kart 1992 or like 90. It was garbage, so bad. But it was
Yep.
funny.
Yeah. The original Mario Kart was so much fun though. All right. Question numeral quattro.
Dishes, what's going on? And thank you guys over at Brews and Q's for allowing me to ask this question. So Dishes, I know in my chat the other day we were talking a little bit about, your accident. If it's not too traumatic to talk about, you're doing fine now. You're looking great. You're off the mend. So just wonder if you could, expand on what happened, what you went through, and is that something that propelled you into streaming? That downtime, being on the mend. Love you, Dishes, and thanks, guys.
Yeah, so kind of like I had said before, that did. It was actually Mother's Day weekend last year. We have a side by side, so we go off roading all the time. And we kind of have a rule that if it's something that's like kind of sketchy, I get out because we've got 2 kids and I'm the main caretaker for them. So if something was to happen to me, life would be really not only rough for them, but kind of everybody else too. So I got out because we were getting ready to go down a hill. We were in Tennessee, like I said, I think. And we always lead because we have the tablet that's got the GPS and everything. So he's like, you should probably get out on this one. I feel like we're going to flip because we were kind of teetering there at the top. So I got out, stood aside. He went. We had like 6 other machines behind us. They were going, like one of the last machines to go. Everybody made it down. The last machine to go. They had went up, I think, a little bit higher, so their teeter was a little bit more than the rest of them. And when they went, they started to flip end over end, and it was a really steep hill. So they're flying down the hill, rolling, and they slammed into a tree. And once I saw them start to roll, I was off to the side further, but I just kept running down the hill in the opposite direction that they were going. So they were going this way, and I'm running this way. Well, on their way down, they slammed into a tree, and the tree had broke off and fell across the mountain, and it landed on me.
Jesus.
So, yeah, it landed on the back. Yeah, well, it knocked me unconscious, so I don't remember that part. But I broke my skull. I broke 3 spots in my back, and my foot got pinned in between a rock and my body. So my toes were actually touching my shin, and the tree was on the back of my neck. And then everybody's watching them flip. And then my husband said he looked over and he saw the tree. And I mean, there was nothing he could do. So he ran up the hill and lifted the tree off me. And he's like, "You were like a broken record for like 30 minutes." Because I just kept saying what happened. I didn't remember. I didn't know what happened to me. And they knew my foot was broken. So they cut off. I had rain boots on. So they cut my shoe off. And
So where you were
glad you're still
when this
here.
happened? Yeah, I mean, very
So that's
lucky.
intense.
Very lucky. That's pretty serious.
yeah.
Out of curiosity, where were you like when this happened? Were you guys like out in the woods, like at like
Yeah,
an off-roading
we were
site?
in the we were in the middle of the woods. We were actually on our way to go see an abandoned train. We had just went and did a tour of this prison in Tennessee. We go riding in Tennessee a lot, so we just try to find new like POIs and everything to go visit and see, and not do the same stuff every time. So we were on our way from one thing to another, and so he loads me up in the side by side, and he took off his sweater and tied my foot to the roll cage so I could keep my foot up in the air, just because it was visibly broken. I mean, we knew something was broken, and obviously that I was grabbing my foot. I'm like, my foot hurts. So he drove me out of the woods, and got me onto the road, and we pulled off. I mean, it was rough in that area. I mean, just trailer parks, and it was not a pretty. We were asking for directions to the closest hospital. The lady, he said she was all right, but the people she was with, he's like, they kind of looked like they were crackheads. And they had offered to give me a ride to the hospital because she's like, you're not going to get there on that. And he's like, no, it's okay. I'll take her. And so we went back to our campsite to get a vehicle. And he's like, well, the closest hospital is only a 2.4 star rating on Google. I said, I don't give a shit what the rating is. Get me to the closest hospital. Like, I'm in a lot of pain. So they take me to the hospital. We called it because we pulled up and it was like the drive up, all the lights were off and it looked like they were closed. So they said, oh, you have to pull around back for the emergency room. So we pulled around back. There was like no emergency room signs or anything. We pulled around back. Their CT machine didn't work. They didn't have anything to, I mean, like they didn't even have rooms there. No wheelchairs outside. So he carried me inside, put me in a chair, and then they wheelchaired me to a bed. But like it was like 8 or 6 beds in there, and they all had curtains in between the beds. Like there was no rooms there. Like it was just a really small town. And they just came to me and said that they weren't equipped to handle trauma, and they were flying me to Knoxville. So they called a helicopter in and they flew me to Knoxville. And then there I found out that all of my broken bones that I had, and I had a blood clot in between my brain and my skull from when the tree had fell on me. So I was definitely, I just remember lights, and I remember, just doctors, tests. I mean, it was just so much. And I'd never been in an accident like that, obviously, or I'd never broken a bone before that. So it was definitely a new thing for me.
So from the time it happened to the time they actually started like putting you back together, how long was it? Because I feel like going from an off-road site to a hospital, that must have taken at least an hour.
So it did. I think it took us, for some reason, I want to say 2 hours, but maybe it took us an hour to get back to our camp and then 20 minutes to the hospital from our camp. It would have been faster to go through the woods to get back to our camp, but I couldn't handle the bumps.
Yeah.
So that we had to take roads the whole way back. So in order to get the roads to get us to where we needed to go, it took us quite a while to get back. Like, thankfully, we just a little bit it took us to get to the road, the bouncing in the woods. I was like, we got to get out of here. Like, I'm dying. I cannot handle this.
But thankfully, you're all healed up, streaming now, that's nuts.
Yeah, it was just a freak accident. So, fun fact, we're going back there this Mother's Day weekend. So let's hope that
Round 2 with this.
Yeah, we're going to the abandoned train that we were headed to that day. So
Did you have to do like a lot of physical therapy after the fact?
yeah. So once I got discharged, my husband really wanted to come back home because we were stuck in Tennessee, obviously. He really wanted to come back home. He had to get to work. I had, my kids were at home. Um, I had a trauma team, ortho team, and a neuro team, and they were all taking care of me. And we drove obviously down there because we had to haul all the machines. So we needed to get me and him in the truck and the trailer back home. But they wouldn't let me go till they could figure out how to transfer, like what was the safest way to get me. So with the blood clot still being in my head, it didn't grow in size, but it didn't get smaller. So they're like, well, we need to make sure it's stable before we can let you go. But my ortho team for my foot, because they wanted me to stay and have surgery there, but they couldn't tell me how long it was going to be till they could do the surgery because my foot was still too swollen to go in and do surgery. So, they said I needed to be on a blood thinner in order to go home to sit in the car for 12 hours. But the neuro team's like, well, you can't be on a blood thinner with that in your head. So they were arguing, and he's like, well, I'm taking her home. So eventually they decided that like the blood thinner shots that you do in your stomach, they put me on those, and I was able to go home. And then eventually I had surgery back home. I think it took like a month or two later because the insurance company said I had to get a prior approval for my CT scan, and then they said, "Are you sure surgery is necessary?" And like the foot doctor did it, so he had to go in and put. So when my foot folded in half, all of the bones that are in the middle of your foot, they just crumbled basically. So they had to take bone from my heel and put it in there, and then put like fake bone around it, and then all of the joints that are there, they fused them all together. So then when he did that, he had to run wires through my foot. So he did like two. So there's like a wire here, and then like they did a cross wire. So there were 4 wires total that went through, and then it hooked to something that was outside of my foot. And I had a huge contraption on my foot, which originally I thought I would have for 6 weeks, and I had for 13 weeks. I was on crutches for 6 months.
Jeez.
So you're basically Iron Man.
Well, they went back and did surgery and took the wires out. So I actually just have a screw through one of my metatarsals now. And then, like I said, all of the bones of my foot are fused in the middle of my foot, I guess, not all of them. So all of the joints there, which is called like your Liz Frank joint, which is like the main movement in your foot, is basically all together.
You're lucky. That's
Yeah, no, I'm still here. So
Yeah. That's
I mean, just the tree falling on you and you saying getting knocked out and crack your skull. I feel like breaking your foot sounds really bad, but the cracking of the skull sounds like the worst part about it.
well, and like usually, I mean, riding trips, and this was like 6 p.m. I think when the accident happened, and like usually, I'm not gonna lie, usually we've had a good amount to drink. Like usually, like, we always pack a cooler, but I wasn't drinking that day. I think I had like one Truly that day, and we just stopped and had some food and ate some. We shared a Monster, and like I was like, man, if I'd been drinking that day, that bleed probably would have been so much worse. So, yeah.
Jeez.
The comeback is always greater than the setback.
Yeah, we're still working on it, but I mean, I'm definitely a lot. I went to physical therapy once I got out of I was in a back brace for 3 months for my back. I didn't have to have surgery on that. They were just more, one was like more of a compound fracture, and then the other 2 were like kind of chips off of, like the one part in my neck that broke wasn't, they said like it will always be broken. Basically, it's just going to be a non-union fracture. It just won't ever go back together, but it's not structural, so it's okay. Like, okay.
Jeez.
You're the doctor.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Well, again, glad you're still here. That
Thanks.
oof. I couldn't imagine getting a tree falling on me.
I'm just getting on. when you said your toes were back against your shin, that's when I was like, whoa.
I didn't see it, so like I'm not Like I mean, it doesn't. But
I'm
like
just
my
trying to look and
sister-in-law,
imagine right now that gap. Like, that's pretty far.
yeah, it wasn't a fun healing process.
No.
All right. Well, I think that's about all we got for you today. Awesome.
I have one more question, actually.
Yeah.
Shoot, Pete.
For anyone just starting out streaming, what piece of advice would you give them?
I would say just be yourself. Take what other people say um seriously but lightly. I mean, you're gonna find out what works best for you. Because what works for somebody else isn't gonna be, your answer for sure. So, like I know some people that are really good at the game and people watch them because they produce great content as far as gameplay. Other people are just funny and, maybe, you know, okay at the game, or they could be great at the game too, but they get viewers because of the way that they are, their personality. Just make sure that you're connecting with your chat. I think that was like a big thing for me, and like I still work towards it being better at making sure to read, like if I'm in like an intense fight or something like that, like I can't obviously read it that second, but make sure that you're checking for a good amount of time, so that way your viewers aren't waiting for a response forever, because then they'll leave, and you know what I mean, then you potentially missed out on gaining somebody who could quite possibly really enjoy your content and everything. So engage, and just keep working towards it. It's not gonna Rome wasn't built in a day. It's not gonna happen right away. Just be yourself, be friendly, and what'll meant to be will be.
All right. I think that was a good way to end it.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you
Alrighty.
for joining us
Yeah,
tonight.
thank you guys. I appreciate it.
And,
Yeah, thanks for your time. I'll have to. I think we're actually going to be having a couple of your guys' group kind of hanging out with us the next couple weeks. So
Awesome.
maybe I'll have to get like all of you guys together. That'd be
Awesome.
kind of
Oh,
a
that would
good
be
time.
fun.
That's it,
That
Trent.
was fun.
Awesome. Again, dishes, Dad. Thanks for your
Thanks for
time.
joining us.
Yes, no problem. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, we'll be popping in your stream, so
Definitely.
we'll be catching you around
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to get some games in.
for sure.
Damn right.
Awesome. All
All
right,
right.
guys.
Later.
Later.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the third episode of Brews and Cues. If you guys are enjoying the content, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.